Hi. Just did a good long meditation. One thing I'm asked a lot by people, many times a day almost, very frequently, is what do you do when you meditate? When the thoughts come up, do you try to shoot them down? Do you try to push them away? Do you have a mantra? Do you focus on something? Do you focus back on your breath? There have been so many different ways that meditation was taught, and I absolutely respect those ways for whoever is doing it, and all ways are better, in my opinion, than not doing it. But my answer, for me, what I choose to do when I meditate, I do nothing. I sit there with my eyes closed for an hour. Stuff happens inside, and habits react to those things. But if I'm deciding that I'm going to do something, if I'm going to focus, who's focusing? Who's doing the focusing? And what's this belief that we have to do something? Maybe instead, we should sit there and observe this insane, chaotic doer that is always fixing that we don't even know exists inside of us. This constant little doer that just doesn't understand what to do if you don't have a job, that can't believe that there's life beyond doing something. So what I do is I sit with my eyes closed and I just sit there. And I really train myself that I don't need to look for something. I don't need to fix something. I don't need to change something. I don't need to do something. I don't need to shoot the thoughts down. I don't need to even love the thoughts like a verb. I just mean when I say love the thoughts, let them be there. Accepting them. Accept them not like it's a job, like just they're there. And for me, when I do that, which is still a doing, sitting on the couch is a doing, whatever. But I add this patience and this revelation that I'm not here to find the breakthrough. If it wants to, it'll find me, because all I'm doing is sitting and making myself receptive to what wants to be said, to what it wants me to feel. Some days I end up having a revelation about myself. There's so many different things that happen. Like, because I'm not chasing something or trying to change something or spinning anything, I have all kinds of different things happen each day. Some days I just have a revelation about myself. Like, if I go into meditation, if I feel a little bit triggered, I sit there and I find under the trigger the deeper belief system that's a lie. And the second I identify that it's not true, that trigger goes away. A lot. Sometimes I'll have an insight. I'll feel myself sit there, and all this dirt that we're just used to all day starts kind of loosening itself, and I just see it. It's just there. And then I see the seer of it, like, not like a job, it just starts showing me that. Like, the part of me that's seeing it starts to break away. And then I see another me that's seeing it, and then I see another me that's seeing it. And then it starts to break away. And when it breaks away, boom, something just shows up and goes, write this right now. And then I'll write something on Facebook. I wrote something this morning. It came up in meditation. It was a guided thing. I do something when it's guided, not when I'm doing something to get a result. There's a difference. When I'm trying to get somewhere and I do something, I already know I'm using an old story that's trying to achieve something that it can see, which would keep the old story alive. But there's other times where I'll sit there and something will show up in me and it'll go, write that down right now. Or call your team and make that video. Or put that on the website. Or tell that person you love them. Or whatever. And it'll be an action that sometimes right in the middle of the meditation, I will do it. Because it's a guided moment. It's pulling me off the couch, not I'm pulling it off the couch. Not I'm doing the work. I want to go past that what do I do guy and go into me. And so it'll go, boom, do that. And then I'll do that. And it's never happened where that thing I didn't give me results beyond my wildest dreams. It always does. Something so crazy happens every single time. My dog's digging a hole in the couch unsuccessfully. Sometimes I'll just meditate and feel absolute one with everything. Because the longer I sit there, the more the separation in my head leaves. And the separation in me is the only thing that exists. That's where I create separation, is inside of me, not in everyone else. I'm not separate from you. Because when I close my eyes, I see the story of you as different inside of me. And then I judge that, and that's what creates the separation. But if I just stay there, that separation leaves, and I'm always still there. So that thing I believed is gone, and there's this oneness, there's this freedom. And in that oneness, you just are not triggered. You don't see anything as dark energy. You don't see anything as dangerous or toxic. You just do what's guided to do. What you want to do is always such a high thing, but most of the time you don't do anything. You just are in this state of, I am you, you are me. You're talking to yourself right now. You're hearing yourself speak on a video. You might go, no, you're different. You have a really sexy beard. Thank you. But what you don't know is that your mind is creating that separation. And if you go deeper and deeper and deeper, it starts to all mold into one thing. And then you go, how could we ever be hateful to each other? How could we ever judge each other? All we're saying is, when we judge someone else, I have judgment of myself. Because it's never happened where you're totally complete and feeling judgment for someone else. You understand everything that's going on is perfect. Someone might be totally falling apart, feeling, you sit there from a place of love going, how beautiful they're falling apart and about to, whatever, access something different. It's all part of their process, and you can see that it's all perfect. And you don't see at the level of just this planet. You see the oneness of all of it, that it's all in service, that it's all perfect. Eckhart Tolle talks about when you die, then this other life happens. Bacteria show up in your body and all this stuff. And like, nature has it all sorted out for you to do whatever you need to do, because the whole thing takes care of itself and it's all fine. Nature always has it all the way. And the more you move from a way that destroys nature, the more out of alignment you get. And that can cause stress and all kinds of different things. And the more you're in alignment and move like you're in flow with nature, the more life comes to you. And when I meditate, I move at the speed of nature. I move, and you can't hear this and not meditate. Like, you can't hear this and go, I get it intellectually, because all I'm saying is content for your mind. You got to experience this. And you might not get it the first day. You might get a very different experience. You might go, now I'm really angry or really sad. Well, that was in you, and that's showing up so that it can leave. And you got to just sit there and let it leave. Some people go, I meditate and then I just feel worse. Wow. Well, that worse was available in you and you had been hiding it because you're so connected to everything outside of you and watching movies and living on Facebook and distracting yourself. So now you're finally meeting you, and right now it wants to purge something. It wants to emotionally release it. So if you don't meditate, try it. Just allow yourself to sit for an hour and surrender to what you should get out of it. Because you get something out of it every time. But it's not what you think you want. It's what you need. And when you get that message from it, or that experience, or that pain, don't fight it. You're bigger than all of it. Just because you feel like shit doesn't mean you are. Just because someone's talking crap about you doesn't mean you're crap. Your job is to stay with you and connect to you. And be okay with what you're experiencing, because everything you're experiencing will pass. And a new thing's coming. So if you're trying to do something in meditation, you're preventing what wants to show up for you. So instead, just sit and don't do anything. Just be. Enjoy sitting. Enjoy energy changing in you. Enjoy feeling different. I promise you what you feel in the first 10 minutes is very different than what you'll feel after 50 minutes. And when you go, oh, it takes so long, have some patience. How fast can life... The more patient you are, the faster life can move for you. The more impatient you are... Think how many times if you go on a date and you want them right away, you lose them. You got to keep, and then you lose it all the time. But if you're patient and you connect to you and you be, not do, you be, everything will start doing itself for you. Everything will be done. Everything is all done. It's already done. You're just preventing yourself from experiencing it. Try it. If you want to experience it, don't even go away right after this video. You will do the most you can for the world by releasing your old story a little bit, or identifying an old story, or moving into the excitement that it gives you. By putting your phone on airplane mode and setting an alarm for an hour later and sitting, you will become magical. And at first it might require pain, it might not, it might become really euphoric. But try it and bring it into your life and take your soul to the gym, not just your body. Take your heart to the gym, take your mind to the gym. All of that will pay off all day, every time. You will transcend old unworthy stories that think you're not enough and take on things you don't want to. And you'll do what you want to do, not what you think you have to do. The world needs you in your purpose. Unhook from this world of pain and move into your greatness and bring that into the world and help people liberate themselves. And let's have a conscious shift on this planet. It starts literally only with you. I'm in if you are.